In this video, I am going to give you the power series expansion of some of the standard formulas, that is exponential, cos x and sin x, and then we will prove some relationship between sin x and cos x through the use of power series and its properties. Okay. So first recall that exponential e power x as infinite series expansion is 1 plus x square by 2 factorial plus x cube by 3 factorial plus x4 by 4 factorial. That is, in notation form it is n from 0 to infinity. Of course, n 0 also included because we start with the 1. So n from summation n from 0 to infinity x power n upon n factorial. This is exponential expansion. Okay. Same way, we know that cos x we represent as all the even terms and with alternate plus minus sign. Okay. So for the alternate plus minus sign, it is minus 1 power n x power 2n divided by 2n factorial. This consists of all the even terms and from 0 to infinity. So of course it will start from 1 and minus x square by 2 factorial plus x4 by 4 factorial and so on. So in terms of the e, it comes from the e power x and it is e power x plus e power minus x by 2. Same way, you remember the formula of sin x also. Sin x is e power x minus e power minus x by 2, which is all the odd terms of e power x with alternate plus minus sign. So it starts with x and then we go up to all the odd terms. Okay. So formula is written like sin x summation n from 1 to infinity minus 1 power n x power 2n minus 1. Okay. So 2n minus 1 divided by 2n minus 1 factorial. It will consist of all the odd terms. So now look at a numerical. Express sin x and cos x in power series. This is the question. Express sin x and cos x in power series and find their convergence, domain of convergence, and prove that sin, s represent the sin of x plus y is equals to sin x cos y plus cos x sin y. So for shorter notation, we have used this s and c, s for sin, c for cos, and similarly for cos x plus y, you remember this formula, cos x cos y minus sin x sin y. Now we will prove this using the power series terminologies. Okay. So now look at the solution, how we are going to prove it. So for the solution, first see that the expansion of power series expansion of cos x. It is 1 minus x square by 2 factorial plus x4 by 4 factorial minus x6 by 6 factorial and so on. Okay. This is a power series. We will find out the radius of convergence for this. So for this, how we calculate the radius of convergence? As I have explained in earlier video, the radius of convergence for any power series is given by limit n tends to infinity mod of n upon n plus 1. Okay. So here what is the nth term? And what is the n plus 1th term? So for the nth term, it will consist of minus 1 power n. So anyway, we have the mod of n. So negative positive all will become positive. So you have to just look at this coefficient. Coefficient will be, for the second term it is 1 upon 2 factorial, 1 upon 4 factorial. So it is 2n plus 2. Okay. N plus 1th term and nth term. So nth term will be 1 upon 2n factorial and n plus 1th term will be 1 upon 2n plus 1 factorial. Okay. So you have n upon n plus 1. So it will be 2n plus 1 factorial by 2n factorial. 2n factorial will cancel out and what will remain is 2n plus 1, 2n plus 2 and 2n plus 1. Okay. So when you take limit n tends to infinity, it will become infinity. Therefore, it means what? The radius of convergence is infinity. That is, it is convergent everywhere. That is, the cos x is uniformly convergent for all x. Okay, because the uniform convergence comes for any value in between that interval. So we have the interval minus infinity to plus infinity, therefore it is convergent for all x, and in fact it is uniformly convergent. Now look at the expansion of sin x. Sin x is x minus x cube by 3 factorial plus x5 by 5 factorial minus x7 by 7 factorial, all the odd terms plus with plus minus sign. Okay, now again when we find out the radius of convergence, so we see that it is nth term and n plus 1th term coefficient. So it is 2n plus 1 and 2n minus 1. Alright, when you take the limit, we will get n in the numerator and therefore limit will be infinity. So again we get sin x is uniformly convergent for all x of r. Okay, now what does this uniformly convergent mean for the function? It means that value of sin x exists for all x, and we know the value of sin x lies between plus 1 to minus 1. We will also going to prove this through power series terminologies. Okay, so now look at the relationship between sin x and cos x. We have the expansion of sin x. Okay, we have the expansion of cos x also. So when we differentiate this cos x, what will we get? Cos dash x differentiating with respect to x. Okay, we'll get 0 minus x 2x by 2 factorial. So 2x 2 factorial will cancel out and you will get minus x. So cos dash x will start with minus x. Okay, so now see here what you are getting. You are getting 2x minus 2x by 2 factorial plus 4x cube by 4 factorial minus 6x power 5 by 6 factorial, so on, and first term will cancel out, and therefore what you will get? You will get that cos x is minus x plus x cube by 3 factorial minus x5 by 5 factorial, that is, it is nothing but minus of sin x. So cos dash x is minus of sin x. Okay, same way you can differentiate sin x and you will see that it is 1, because we are differentiating with respect to x, it is 1 minus 3x square by 3 factorial plus 5x power 4 by 5 factorial minus 7x power 6 by 7 factorial. So first coefficient will cancel out and you will get what? 1 minus x square by 2 factorial plus x4 by 4 factorial minus x6 by 6 factorial, and therefore it is going to be cos x. So sin dash x is cos x and cos dash x is sin x. Okay, same way when you put the value x is equals to 0 in the cos formula, you get 1, and when you put these x is equals to 0 in sin formula, you get 0, because in the sin all terms have x and in the cos all except the first term has x, so you get the remaining 1. Okay, now we are going to prove what was given to x, that is the formula of sin x plus y and cos x plus y. Okay, so see how we are going to prove this. We will make a function fx which is equal to sin x plus y. Now for the shorter notation we will call just as sin x. So sin x plus y, whatever we have to prove, we will take this as a function. Okay, so fx is sin sx plus y minus sx cy plus cx sy, and gx is cx plus y minus cx cy minus sx xy. So we have to prove this is equal to this term. So we have taken this whole as fx. We will prove that fx is 0. Similarly, we have to prove cx plus y is equals to all of this. So we have taken this as gx. Now we will prove that fx and gx is 0. Okay. So to prove that fx and gx 0, we can also prove this fx square plus gx square is 0, because from this what we will get, if square and sum is 0, that is each individual square is 0, and therefore we will get this to be 0. Okay, we will prove that. How it is 0? Because we prove that f and g are the constant, and therefore if it is 0 at one point, that is 0 0, it is going to be 0 for all the point. Okay, so now how we are going to prove this? We have given this fx. Now let's differentiate it. Okay, so differentiate it with respect to x. Here one more thing to remember is we have taken y to be a arbitrary fixed number. So if y is arbitrary fixed number, it will become the function of only x. Okay, so here y will be treated as constant, and when we will differentiate f dash x, it will be get differentiated only with respect to x. So it is as s dash x plus y minus s dash x cy minus c dash x sy. Okay, so only differentiation with respect to x. Now s dash of x, we have proved that sin dash x is cos, so we get c of x plus y minus cx cy as such. C dash x, differentiation of cos is plus sin x, so plus sx sy. Okay, so now look at this and compare it with equation 8 gx. So the first term is same, the second term is same, and third term is same. Therefore you get that f dash x is nothing but gx. Similarly, when you will differentiate gx, you will get it is c dash x plus y minus c dash x cy minus s dash x sy. Now c dash is minus of x, c dash is minus of s, and minus sign will go inside, so minus minus plus, and minus minus plus already, and you get this s dash x sc. So it is whole overall it is minus of fx. So f dash x is gx and g dash x is minus of fx. Okay, we call it as the next two equations, equation number 9 and 10. Now consider the d by dx of f square x plus g square x. We are going to prove that it is equal to 0. Now we remember from the differentiation formulas, that is f square x is 2fx f dash x plus g square x is 2gx g dash x. Alright, now we will put the value of f dash x and g dash x from the previous equations. F dash x was gx and g dash x was minus fx. So you get 2fx gx minus 2gx fx, that is both the terms are same, so you get a 0. Okay, now if the d by dx of f some function is 0, it means what? That function is a constant. Okay, again this is from the rules of differentiation, that if differentiation of any function is 0, it means that function is constant. So we are getting the differentiation of this as 0, so we get f square x plus g square x as a constant function. Constant function meaning it will have same value for each of x. Okay, so now look at what the value it is getting from g0. Okay, now g0 and f0, for finding this, let's again come to how we have defined fx. So f0 is x to be 0, okay, and y to be y only. So sx minus s0 plus c0. Okay, so s0 is what? S0 is 0, c0 is 1, so you get sy minus sy. So f0 is 0. Similarly g0, so c of cy, 0 plus y, so cy minus c0 is 1, so cy, so cy minus s0 is 0, so this term is 0, and cy minus cy 0, so you get both f0 and g0 to be 0, and we have already proved that they are constant, so they will be 0 for all x. Okay, so f0 will be 0 for all x and g0 will be 0 for all x, and the value of function will be the same. Okay, so what we have to prove, that sine of x plus y formula and cos of x plus y formula, we have proved it. Okay, now there are different corollaries based on this particular earlier theorem, and they may come independently also. Okay, so you need to learn the number of corollaries. So first corollary is, which is the standard formulas of the sine and cos. So first is, we know that sine of minus x is minus sine x and cos of minus x is cos x. How this comes from the power series terminology? So look at here, we have the expansion of sine x, will replace sine x with minus x in the formula. Okay, so when we replace x with minus x, we get what? Minus x cube minus x5. Okay, so all the odd powers, therefore all the minus sign will remain and the sign will get changed. So it is minus x plus x cube by 3 factorial minus x5 by 5 factorial. Take minus sign outside and you get sin x. So it is minus sin x. Therefore we have minus s of minus x is equals to minus sin x. Okay. Similar way mein, if you do for the cos, then for cos of minus x, it is 1 minus x square by 2 factorial minus x4 by 4 factorial minus x6 by 6 factorial. So it is all the even terms and therefore minus sign will be absorbed. So you get same cx. Okay, so this is first corollary where you have to prove that sine of minus x is minus sin x and cos of minus x is cos x. Okay, second corollary, sin x minus y is sin x cos y minus cos x sin y. Similarly, cos x minus y is cos x cos y plus sin x sin y. What you need to do is, you need to replace just y with minus y and you get the result, because sin of minus y is minus sin y and cos of minus y is cos y. Okay, so you get both these formulas. Similarly, if you have to prove that sine of minus x minus sin x cos of minus x cos x, this we have already proved. The next is c square x plus s square x is 1. Okay, how you are going to prove this? You know that c0 is 1, c of x minus x is c of x plus minus x 1 and c of x plus minus x. What is this formula from the expansion? It is this cx cy and sx xy. Your y is minus x, so minus sign will come out from the sign and therefore it will be c square x plus s square x is equals to 1. All these are coming from the very first theorem. Same way you can prove that sin 2x and cos 2x formulas, when you replace x with y with x and you get this two formulas. Okay, and from this c square x plus s square x is equals to 1, you get mod of cx is less than equal to 1, mod of sx is less than equals to 1. Okay, because the sum square and sum is 1, so each of this term will be less than equal to 1. Okay, so this is all for now. In the next we'll take up some more power series examples.